Well, there's some nights where you feel baked. There are other nights where you might feel fried. And if you're Earthgang hanging out with TOKiMONSTA making a collaboration track, you're probably fried for the night. This song is pretty cool, not only because I just love a lot of the artists involved here. I learned about TOKiMONSTA's story actually, I want to say last year, when I was kind of just perusing Reddit, and then suddenly it was like, hey, you want to read this story about how this artist had like brain cancer and stuff, but like actually overcome it, and it's really dope. And I was like, oh yeah, sure. And one of the first songs I heard from her was in connection with Yuna, and then there was also the Anderson .Paak collaboration, and now we have Fry for the Night with Earthgang. Pretty much, this instrumental, it doesn't have anything too dynamic with it per se, but it does sort of fit the aesthetic of what Earthgang usually does, which is sort of be sort of weird and a little bit spacey. It kind of fits their overall style of trying to mess with your mind, but at the same time have some hip-hop sensibilities that remain pretty grounded, and it's the same here. While they don't necessarily glorify the idea of drugs, what Earthgang does is kind of talk about the tragic backstory behind drugs and usually why they're used. Now, not everyone has the same goals in mind when they recreate, when they participate in grass and the recreational activities that may or may not involve smoking or getting drunk. It's due to the fact that most of the time a lot of people are trying to sort of de-stress, and unfortunately what happens is when you grow a certain tolerance, that means you need to increase your intake, and increasing your intake is something that can be very dangerous. Earthgang mentions it when, I can't remember which is which, so please don't shoot me, but dude says it's probably the greatest love ever. Is that true? Probably depends on your feelings about marijuana, other smokables, or alcohol and other drinkables. It really just depends on how you feel. Fried for the Night is sort of a microcosm of, or at least looking at it from a micro lens and going like, this is why this person is doing it, and this is spread out to many people, and it's a very tragic situation, which they mention as well. Not only that, but he sort of mentions the fact that people live in shuffle. I mean, no. He lives in shuffle, but they sort of live in a loop where they're kind of like constantly doing the same thing. And they're like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? While he's sort of able to enter this universe of partying, having fun, and then leave it. But there are people who depend on that for their emotional income to remain steady. If your emotional income, because now your emotions are tied to capitalism. I don't know what I'm doing here, but it's a fun metaphor, so we're going to continue. When your emotional income is very poor, and the only way to really increase the serotonin is to engage in these kind of activities, you're naturally going to be like in a weird loop and not be able to use something but be able to step out of it. I like the fact that it talks about this. Also, this song gives us our first 2020 vision line, at least for me. This is the first song I've heard that's made the very already retired joke of, a retired meme of 2020 vision, you guys. We're in 2020, and like, man, I can totally see right now. I got 2020 vision. I don't even need my glasses anymore. What he says is, of course, in 2020, I've got hindsight, or something along those lines. And I was just like, oh, so it was you who was gonna say it first. The only other like fun thing that I like about this song is when they have the little intro, and basically what happens is dude says, and I told myself, self, check yourself. And that sort of fits the theme of the song. Not only is the guy measuring himself and how he handles these situations and how he looks at it from a grander scale than just his own motivations and how it affects everyone around him, he also makes sure he's doing good. So overall, has this very mischievous vibe to it. Like, it feels though, but it also has this sort of sad. There's a low-key sadness, you know, just kind of floating right at the surface, and the rest of the surface is just like, look how fun this is. But like the top part is like, dude, this is not good. Like, some people have been in this for like years. I like it. It's nice to hear Earthgang after, you know, they, you know, just happened to release an entire project. And nice to hear TOKiMONSTA. I don't know if she's releasing a project. I did not look prior to recording, so editing me can handle that, because, well, you know, he handles everything. So good luck me. And if you are not getting fried for the night, I can understand. You know, fried rice isn't always, you know, perfect. You could try fried fish or fried chicken. Well, as guy says, fried, baked, cooked, however you like to have your cookies is up to you. Me, I'm just gonna have this trail mix that I'm really excited about. I'm just gonna eat that. I'm gonna fry it, dude. Freaking amazing. Someone's gonna think I'm like actually like fried right now. Oh no. Oh. But seriously,